Welcome to Blue TV, the only podcast of today's best shows and movies. I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
And tonight we got The Walking Dead. This was Season 8, Episode 11, Dead or Alive or... ...
And then... That's all I can think about.
Can I ask the question? Does anybody know what this title means to this episode?
Yeah, it's
Gabriel?
the last thing Negan says in the episode.
Okay.
Whether they be dead or alive
Or something in between.
All right.
something in between.
All right, so purely just on that one statement. It's got nothing to do with the content of the episode, correct?
I mean, maybe...
That's what I wanted to make sure.
Maybe
'cause I was
Gabriel.
struggling.
Like, I mean, he was kind of focused and everything, and it was tough to say what he was, but yeah, I think it's just the line at the end of the
So
episode.
it's just the catchphrase.
Yes,
Okay.
basically.
All right. I want to make sure. I was just like, all right. I was trying to see if this had a symbolism to something in the episode. Wasn't able to grasp it. Oh, well. Overall, what y'all think of the episode itself?
I didn't think it was a bad episode, but this is, we talked about it, the definition of filler.
Yeah. Anything that gives this much screen time to Tara is just a filler episode. I'm sorry.
Any Tara lovers out there, it's cash only. You know
If you're a Tara lover, just stop listening.
Yeah. It's not going to get any better from here.
Because all 2% of you, you know. Anyway, I'm with you guys. I thought the episode had some good things about it. But yes, we didn't move very far in any direction. If anything, we did a big circle.
Yes.
And we started out going in one way, ended up back where we were, kind of.
Except people found out about Carl, so I
Right. And
guess that
But we didn't-
progress.
in a nice little...
But it was just silent,
Yeah.
no words,
It was like...
cry fest.
And I forgot, because Carl died, 2 episodes ago? So the fact that people are just now discovering it, I was like,
Why? It's another way to drag it out.
Yeah, man, we're over it.
yeah.
We have moved on from this god-awful, atrocious decision.
Yeah.
And so on. Did y'all see my post on Facebook where, you know, somebody took Jadis's face and put, you know, Gimple there and said it was a story decision and it's bullshit, you know?
I did see that one.
Yikes.
Anyway, how y'all want to attack the episode? You know, we got like 4 or 5 little mini groups here. You know, you got the Negan little deal. We got Hilltop little deal. We've got Daryl and the Swamp Crew. We've got Gabriel and Doc.
I say let's knock out the little tiny ones first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so who you want to go with? You want to go with Hilltop?
No,
Yeah, let's
they're at the end of the episode. So, I mean,
Yeah,
save
so
them
is
for the
so is
end, I
Negan.
think.
Yeah. It's kind of the Daryl crew. It's kind of the ones who's in the beginning.
No,
of the
there's
meeting.
one more, though. What am I forgetting?
I mean, there's Negan, and then there's Gabriel.
Well, Negan and Eugene are kind of all together. And then Gabriel and Doc. And then you have Daryl and Tara and Dwight.
So I think we just knock out Gabriel and
I mean,
Doc.
that's kind of... And then the Hilltop, Maggie and Gregory and all that. So, I mean, it's kind of is what it is.
I feel like I'm missing one little small party, but maybe I'm not. Anyway, screw it. Y'all want to do the Doc
Sounds
and
good.
Gabriel?
Sure. Yeah.
They got a lot of focus this episode.
They did. They absolutely did. All right, so are we all clear now? This episode shows you that he was not bitten. He is not infected. I know there was a lot of people out there that had that issue of, you know, why is he not turned? Why is he not this, and so on. This is completely unrelated. This
Yeah.
is a separate illness.
He just got sick.
And this is clarified.
But he does have an infection.
Yes.
So
And a fever.
the problem is they cover him in guts. All of a sudden he's sick with an infection. You put 2 and 2 together, it's like...
It was like the Glenn fake death scene at the end of like season 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah.
Where it was just like the camera trick.
It's just, I don't know. It's like you're talking about, and like you're talking, it's playing on your audience of, we've been showing you this is what happens, and then you're showing us this is now happening, and it doesn't add up, even though it's supposed to. You know, it bothered me.
And so, did anyone sick long enough in fear to know if they got sick by the blood getting in them or anything?
That's never happened because Rick has drank and had more blood in his eyes than anything else, and within those 2 things right there, he should have been dead and long gone if that was the case.
Right. But look what this episode hinges on.
Yeah, at the end of the episode, it all hinges on...
This all comes to the point of where it's like, hey, just get this blood on them. Put your blades, dip it in it, and stuff like that. That's the end of the episode. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, make up your mind.
Well, the rules change
Okay.
as the series goes. I mean, that's the whole deal. That was going to be my argument at the end of the episode when we talked is that Okay, Gabriel is the walking definition of what shouldn't be happening or should be. It's a 50-50, but based on what they've told you in the scenes prior. I mean, I remember the episode where Rick and Shane were fighting, and they were at that place to dump that fella, and they killed a walker, and like half of his blood and guts went into Rick's face, mouth, nose, where he was getting up, spitting it out. And everything. I mean, this was a key moment of season 2. All right, he's fine. Gabriel puts the pieces on him, and he gets an infection, and the viewer immediately thinks, okay, well, he got sick because of what he got put on him. That doesn't match. And then you hear what Negan has to say at the very end of, you just scratch them, you just do, get this on them, da-da-da-da-da, and you let it be, to signify what's supposed to happen to turn them into walkers there. And so, the episode is contradictory based on that alone.
Yeah, I mean, it completely changes the entire concept of Negan's speech.
Well, I just don't understand what happened to Gabriel.
Yeah.
He just happened to get sick with an infection after having blood and guts on him from a walker.
Yeah.
Just
So
convenient
that has
timing.
no bearing. Or it does. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. Because at this point, looking at Gabriel vision, it looks like Walker vision.
It's a
Gabriel vision.
Yeah, like he looks like he's, one step away from Walkerville.
I mean,
I've seen walkers that look better than Gabriel does right now.
obviously the guy who's Rick's sweat man came to Gabriel.
Rick and Daryl Sweatman.
Yeah.
No, Daryl's just filthy.
Yeah.
Rick is sweaty.
By the way, guys, round of applause. Daryl got a bath on this episode.
A swamp bath.
It is an improvement.
No,
It's a bath.
yeah, he's now an improvement. That swamp is for the worst.
That's what killed all those people in the swamp. As soon as he dipped his toe in it.
They immediately became walkers.
There was a prosperous community living in that sun.
All right, so Gabriel, they're sitting in a car with Doc, and they can't get the car to start because they're lost.
Yeah.
They've lost their way, and then we have
Gabriel's-
a walker that's dragging his stump attached to a chain. Okay, coming up to the car. Now, at first, I didn't catch this, but this was a clue to what's going to happen the rest of the episode, and so on. And then it just cuts away and comes back where that walker has been evidently, curb stomped, and they're out there going, "Well, we just need a new car."
It looks like a machete has hit it in the head.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty brutal what's happened here.
He just gave the Chicago Ridge hand. Charlie Murphy special.
So then it turns into Gabriel vision, as my brother once said right here, to where he just magically goes through the woods. And this is like the third time we've had something where you just magically see something off in the distance. In the
No,
woods.
he heard
Yeah.
the bell.
You got me. That's right. It was. He did hear something, which they didn't even make a sound for. He goes out there, and we get to this. I guess this is like army camo netting, and so on for like blinds and stuff.
Yeah.
Tears it open, and voila, we had this house that has this massive antenna going up. Where somebody evidently has lived, and
This is like a prepper or
Yeah.
something.
right. A refuge from the world, and cool effect on the house. I will tell you this episode did impress me that all the set pieces made it look like we were several years past civilization. Just like when you saw the bridge and you saw weeds have grown up through the bridge.
Yeah, like a lot of moss and everything.
Exactly. And like this house looked like it had been sitting vacant for a very long time.
Agreed.
There was a lot of different things. They were a little heavy on the dust inside the house. I mean, when he was knocking that off, it's like somebody had dumped chalk everywhere, and he was poof, like a cloud.
It was like a 2-inch thick layer.
I don't know, man.
Coming off.
I live in the country. You live in the country. Dude, you leave your door open for a second. Like, your entertainment center, everything.
Yeah.
It's covered.
Right.
I mean,
I'll
it don't
do that.
take much.
So we get into this place. They're looking around. Nothing. They come inside. There's old radio equipment. There's, journals, a script for somebody who's been on the radio. That there's hope, and there's constant conversation about I'm letting the Lord lead me, and Doc Carlson's constantly skeptical. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Doc already kind of clear the house or everything like that because they kind of got comfortable in the living room? Did I catch that, or did I miss that part?
They were clearing.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
Because-
Gabriel was just kind of trying to read, and Doc was going in and out of every room.
Yeah, because he was going out. That's how he found The previous owner of this place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because, he was tied to the
This
bed or
guy
something.
was taking no chances.
No.
He's like, I'm going to eat every pill I have. I'm going to bag my head, and I'm going to chain myself to my own bed with a gun in my pocket.
Yeah. So the guy gun in his hip.
Just in case. But my thing is, if you have a gun, why not shoot yourself in the head so you don't change? You wouldn't want to turn. Why do you want to die terribly slow and horrifically with a bag over your head or pills?
Well, see, I saw the pills. I thought he just went to sleep and never woke up. And then you put a bag over your head as, to make sure you don't wake back up.
I mean, that's a pretty terrible way to...
Before you fall asleep, you're going to suffocate.
I hear you. Well,
no, because I don't think
a bag over your head, you'll be able to breathe for a little while.
Yeah,
A
until you go
little
to
while.
sleep. I mean,
Yeah,
you'll
then
be able to
hope you
breathe
go
until you're asleep.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
I'm assuming he's got like 10 Ambien.
No.
I'm not even sure of the exact science, but when I watched Lucky Number 11, they had a little bit, while they were breathing in the bags.
I'm calling total bullshit on this. As a matter of fact, now I'm thinking about the whole deal, and I'm like, this might all be bullshit. Let's see. When did he handcuff himself?
Before he
Before the
took the
pills, after the bag.
You handcuff yourself, you take a bunch of pills, slide the bag over, pull it, and
Did he
you hope.
pull it, or like I thought it was just a loose bag?
Maybe
Oh,
it
no,
was.
that thing was on him.
Yeah. And so.
He didn't just want to put a bag on his head. Like
I thought it was just
the embarrassment. I'm an astronaut.
Yeah,
This is my helmet.
just so you don't bite. Like, I mean, I thought it was just nice and loose.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this ridiculous. Overkill ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
The pills on the ground should have been enough.
You imagine you're one-handed trying to get this bag on your head. It's like, son of a bitch, getting sleepy. You know what I mean?
Good thing I have a holster.
Well, you can put the bag over, handcuff yourself, take the pills, and tighten it at the last second. I'm trying. I'm reaching here, man. I'm reaching.
You have a gun in your waistband.
Grease yourself.
Shoot yourself. Why would you want to turn? What sense did this death make? None.
None.
This is just ridiculous. This was just a way to give Doc a gun.
For no reason.
All this was to set up Gabriel making a faith shot. I mean,
Yeah.
never mind. Fuck this episode. I'm done.
That's
one-
now that you're talking about it,
One
it's like,
stupid dead radio operator can't even kill himself right. He legitimately tortured himself for no reason.
Oh my god.
yeah. I mean, now that we're talking about it, there's no good reason for this guy to be dead like this.
He should have just gone out like, kung fu. You know what I'm saying? Just like, is this some autoerotic asphyxiation? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
It's just like,
We should have
just
just seen the tie and everything.
zoom in on the
just hang it
pills.
up.
It's Viagra, and he's just choking himself. Just have his zombie
if he-
dick hanging out.
Oh,
One less pool everyone could
right.
have gotten out on.
we have derailed and exploded, and that's where we go.
Well, that's
Well,
one way
that's how we
this
should have
minute
gone out. It's an explosion. Just like,
I would go with the autoerotic deal if he had a rope to the ceiling fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But whatever.
hey, man, that's what we should have changed it to.
No, you never do it on the ceiling fan. You always do it on like the doorknob, I guess, is what happens to these people.
Ceiling fan
So-
does seem a little bit more dangerous. Like, what?
Yeah, if my ceiling fan held my weight, I would be absolutely amazed. Anyway, this is a morbid conversation over this ridiculous debt they can't
All right,
explain.
So anyway, after we find our baghead radio opera, we come out and we're just talking, having good conversation. And how about the Gabriel oops and hit the pig
Perfectly.
and shatters to where we have keys and a map.
And neither one we have established can read a map. Because
I'm like, this is where I feel like the writers are reaching to the TV and slapping the viewers.
well, I mean, at least Doc even called it out. Doc was like, "You've got to be kidding me."
It didn't matter what he said. Just the idea that this was in this giant piggy bank just absolutely blows my mind.
Because who's going to hide keys in a freaking piggy bank?
Jesus.
How'd you get the fucking keys in the piggy bank?
Well, some of them have that deal at the bottom, but
I mean,
still,
you got the cork at the bottom, but keys aren't
it
necessarily.
just doesn't make. Why was it in there?
Whatever, man. I'm just... None of this makes any
No,
sense.
like he has two kinds of antibiotics. Like
You see what they're trying to do
around in houses.
Yeah, I mean, everything was so convenient here.
Well, they're trying to push Gabriel's faith line, right? And then the doctor, who's the science guy, I guess, is saying, "Oh, you believe that horse shit?" So it's like they're like pushing, only to dramatically rip it away from you.
Oh, it was like pulling the entrails out of his gut.
Yeah, so it's like
No pun intended.
yeah. So
I mean, like you said, all right, so they go outside, and we got Gabriel vision that cannot read something 6 inches in front of him. Okay, whatever. Maybe he's taken some antibiotics and has a miraculous recovery. Okay, you know how the time works in Walking Dead. It
but
could
dogs
be
don't
one
even-
day, it could be 1 week. You never know. And so they go outside, and Doc's starting to feel lucky, and he, suddenly Gabriel vision sees a sign from over 100,
Hears it.
100 feet away, and says "traps, warning." And he gets this enormous he literally walks backwards into a bear trap. Okay, yes, it happened. He's screaming, and this is that shit that Walking Dead does. They're walk outside, right? Mm-hmm. They're talking to each other loud. They're having conversation. He feels comfortable to turn around and walk backwards. Suddenly, this bear clamp thing happens. He starts hollering, and within 3 seconds, there's 7 or 8 walkers out there
bearing down on top.
Bearing down on him. And it just blows my mind. And why does every walker want to bite for the face of the victim? Why? You realize that when Doc was on the ground right there, one walker was coming at him from his feet area,
and still
came at him for his face shot,
where there's blood gushing out.
Right. Yeah. Instead, he puts the forearm shiver up and is able to defend himself versus this walker. When this walker could have gone for his ankles and had a feast.
Game over. Yeah,
and I'm just like,
they want the jaw meat.
And of course,
you gotta get that jaw meat right there.
That's scalp meat. It's real.
Are you trying to tell me these are former, like Indians, or I mean, come on?
Hey, they're Memphis barbecue cookers. They know. They're ex-barbecue pros.
So let's throw in the ridiculousness that 7 walkers immediately appear and are immediately bearing down on them. The walkers only go for, as you say, the tender jaw meat and everything else. We're able to fend off multiple of them. Gabriel's able to use Gabriel vision to find revolver.
He closes his eyes at one point.
Okay, and then when he does the whole be with God and his gun's waving around, and just suddenly pulls the trigger and greases this walker that's 6 inches from his face.
I was done.
I was like,
and if
why? It just you didn't have to go that far. No. You didn't have to be that so much of a slap you in the face of everything.
Just disrespecting us as viewers.
All this was to build all that up, like Jake said a minute ago, to have it crash down at the end. Because guess what? They get him into the Jeep. They start having this real positive conversation. Don't fucking move. You freeze or whatever, Then they're like, oh, great. And, so they get put in the back of this truck. And again, Gabriel vision. He suddenly looks at Doc, and Doc's like, I'm seeing what you're seeing. I'm seeing it, man. I'm seeing it. And then he goes to grab this revolver, and all of a sudden you just hear a bang.
Yeah.
Where this bang come from and who shot him, it didn't even show it on camera. It didn't.
We never even saw them, and we never even see him get in the car or anything.
But we do see his bullet hole.
Yeah, you see him roll over, and he's got a small hole in his chest.
So that means Doc knows that this person is looking at him.
The revolver doesn't even come out of the holster. I watched it twice. He went to reach for that revolver, and before it was even out, bang, and he just rolled, and it clips to him rolling over. And when he's doing that, the hole's there, and somebody goes, "Damn it, you weren't supposed to kill him. He's going to have our ass."
That was the doctor. Yeah, I know that.
And
but
and that gun was still in his hip.
Well, the gun was in his hip, and he's shot in the chest.
So almost it wasn't that gun that shot him.
No, almost like he had another gun in his right hand and just like, don't touch my shit.
It had to be a second person. It was just like...
Oh, and it was instant, too.
So it's like the second he touches that revolver.
Doc is looking the person who murders him in the eyes as he's trying to reach for this revolver.
Yeah, but he pulls some Doc Holliday shit and just reaches around, cow.
Well, that's the other thing is that they gave you the impression based on where this gun was, this guy was not looking at Doc.
Yes.
So this is the reason it would give him the motivation to do it. Doc would have not done this if there was somebody else watching him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a person off screen that Doc is looking in the eyes. Hey, I'm reaching for this gun.
And that's the reason the second he reaches for it and touches it, he gets greased. And to me, he's like, all right, well, he wouldn't have reached for it
if anyone
that guy
was
right there,
then
they would have shot him.
But there was a guy back further.
The driver or something, because we know there's two people.
Well, there's the guy that's on the tailgate. He tries to steal the gun. And there's a guy behind him, like further off the tailgate.
Yeah.
Because he reaches for that.
And that's the guy that shoots him. But Doc would have to be looking at him.
No, it doesn't seem like that's the guy that shoots him, though.
Well,
I know that makes... That's the only possibility that makes sense.
Like, plausible.
But when you see, you know, hey, that was the doctor. They're going to have our ass for that. Mm-hmm. They're focused on the big chubby dude he was trying to steal the gun from.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's the one that fucked up. So if next episode they get back, well, that we already saw him. He gave. I'm surprised he didn't punish somebody.
Well, I mean, there's only two people, but they've shot it to where there has to be a third person that Doc just never saw. Because I can't imagine you reaching for a gun, looking somebody in the eyes who can see you reach for that gun.
Well, not only that, you wouldn't reach for a gun if there was somebody who had the opportunity to shoot you.
Well, I mean, that's who I'm saying Doc is looking at, because
the camera angle and the way they went about this was complete dog shit to me. You know, and you know, again, in his death, it was purely to show that Gabriel's mantra or his religion belief and all that stuff was horseshit.
Yeah, well,
it was just to bring that crash down, like it was like almost like it was a statement against faith. I don't know. I hate to say that it is or accuse it of that was. It's almost like, yeah, whatever you think of faith. Here's an example of why it's not real.
Or it's a direct statement of faith, because that is kind of how it is. Giveth and taketh away.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So it's like, no matter how many good things are going, at any moment the rug can be pulled out from under you.
Let me tell you what I feel like it was for. Welcome Sadiq, one less character we have to pay for.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sadiq's a doctor.
No doubt.
And it was a complete net loss for Negan, because Negan lost his doctor, and Hilltop gained a doctor.
It's just...
I mean, it was a bad death. It was complete. It was filler.
Yeah. Oh well, filler. This is what we always talk about. It's like you got to trim the herd. You know what I mean?
But like, we didn't even have to kill Doc. Like I said, it took me 50 minutes to realize who Doc was, as they were calling him Doc the entire episode.
I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
I know about him but the deal with this is that Doc's specialty was an OBGYN.
Yep.
A pregnancy doctor, you know, or
which
a
Maggie
female doctor.
has not gained anyway.
And so, even like, we'll go to the Hilltop next. Maggie is got her hand on her flat 6-pack stomach, by the way, and everything, you know. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, Dr. Carson's got to become a player in this. Pang, you know, that's no longer an issue. So now we have Sadiq, you know, and he has medical experience. You know,
I mean, smart play by him. Be like, hey, guys, I'm going to join the community. I got medical experience. I'm not going to say I'm a doctor.
By the way, very important person.
Yeah, really. Keep me alive.
Ding, 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 ding.
Anyway, so then, like I said, Gabriel gets carted off and he's crying and he's upset. You know, it is what it is. And so we go to the Hilltop, and I know we're out of order here because we got Daryl and Swamp People show up, but Maggie is having to make decisions on rations. The girl, you know, Bo Chick, I remember her distinctly now, comes in with her little, you know, pamphlet or chart or little booklet, and it's like, you know, our rations, basically, if we cut it down to a third of what we already have, we got, she say a
couple
of weeks?
Week. No, end of the week.
End of the week.
And that doesn't include the prisoners.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we're going to have to make some hard decisions. And so she goes down there to be a hard ass, like, you know, hey, rations are going to get cut even more. And it is what it is. My people first. Well, it's not right. And of course, Gregory, one of the best actors on the show, you know, Xander or whatever his name is, he gets such little screen time now. I'm waiting for this guy to get back in the mix somehow. You know, he's arguing and let me out, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And they want, you know, hey, can you let us out, even on gun, you know, on patrol, just let us, you know, roam around. To me, I would look at him and be like, you're lucky I don't go ahead and shoot you.
Really? I mean, I would give him like...
I mean, that's just me, though.
I'd give him like trench duty or something. Figure out something to do with prisoners.
I don't understand this plot line.
I really don't either.
Like, prison rights?
Yeah.
All of a sudden...
You're prisoners of war, man. Like,
I just don't care. And you know this is just to lead to one of these guys or a couple of these guys try to make a break for it or try to free their friends or something. All it is to make this tougher on Maggie's decision.
So you think
It's
they're
just
gonna
it's
mellow
more a
down?
moral decision,
Yeah.
more than moral dilemma. That's
Yeah.
all it is. How can we intertwine a moral dilemma? And we're getting a visual of it this time.
And I mean, the person supposed to be defending them isn't even there because
Yeah,
Jesus
he's-
is gone.
yeah,
Like, I'd
Jesus
just be
is
like,
out on
okay,
scavenger
Jesus,
hunt.
you're gone. You come back to
Hey, we were out of rations.
Yeah.
We had to let them go. We let them go into the ditch, all their bodies.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oh, rampant flu just
Yeah.
went right through him.
Now, there is...
hadn't been eating enough, didn't have enough water. It was sad. We probably should have killed him way back yonder.
Now, does anybody at the hilltop, have they ever heard or have talked to somebody who's ever heard the whole speech of that people are resources? We don't kill people.
No.
Do you follow what I'm saying? Like, could that be a reason why you would keep these people? Because remember, she sent the box and said, we have 38 more of these as an example or whatever.
But
You
now
know.
she's softening on that.
I get that. But to Negan and them, does that mean, okay, we can't attack because they have our prisoners? Is that what she's trying to convey? It's like, you come at us, we start killing your people? To me,
Kinda.
Negan's concept, like, I don't give a crap. You kill him or not. We're going to make an example of you jokers.
I think that's going to have more to do with Simon than it is going to have to do with Negan.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because,
That hits people. Dean! That's my man, Dean!
but there's,
I'm so surprised he knew Dean's name.
Ah.
they are setting it up for a Negan Simon
Quarrel.
Royale.
actual battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or one of them's going to put down the other. I mean, honestly,
Simon's dead. Like,
Simon will die, I would assume. But I think that's what all this has to do with.
maybe that's
Maybe even to the point of where some of these people decide that they'd rather be with the Hilltop people instead of
I
going
think-
back to Negan. You know what I'm saying?
I think most of these people will side with the Hilltop.
Right. They show us the long-haired guy again
Yeah.
talking to Morgan and stuff.
Oh, Morgan
That's-
Carroll. That's who you were probably thinking that we were missing their story.
Maybe
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Maybe
a
so.
little
But
bit.
they're part of the Hilltop thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that guy's still alive because he's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Or a solution. Like,
Well-
I still think he might be a true person and they add him to the cast or something for some reason.
I'm talking about the long-haired asshole.
Oh,
Not the guy that's talking to Maggie.
gotcha.
The guy that's always talking shit.
He's going to start a riot, yeah.
That is the guy that'll be, when you let him out for his rec time, all right, hit the yard. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the problem.
Yeah, like he's the one who's been so nice and good looking and seems compassionate, prison rights, and he'll actually be the actual bad guy. And the guy who looks like the bad guy and you hate, the one that killed the brother and everything else, won't actually be the mastermind behind that.
I think it's the other way around. This show's too heavy-handed.
I agree, but it would be better if the good looking
Oh.
one that was doing all that stuff would be coming at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've already got that with Dwight, and so like if we have to go through that again, I will.
I know.
I'll throw up.
To me, I just don't see how anybody in
What-
the cage lives.
What's new? Regurgitating storylines?
Oh yeah, recycling.
Imagine
it?
that.
Repeater.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It's definitely going to be like you
That's
said.
the Walking Dead way. So anyway, then like you said, we were talking about Morgan and Carol talking to little boy
Henry.
here, and he's like, they argue over telling the boy who killed his brother. Morgan's like, he needs to know, and Carol's like, he's a child. Which side y'all on?
Just go ahead and tell him it's a zombie apocalypse. Like you don't have time to be a child anymore.
I'm too frustrated with what they're doing with Carol to give a damn at this point.
I'm so frustrated with all three.
Yeah.
Because Morgan is turned back into the Terminator, like, I think all should die, who should be clear. Clear. The kid has no issue, no conscience, because he just stabbed a man to the back of the throat and watched him die. And, and then you have Carol, who's gone back to compassion, cookie making, the children are important, this isn't like you. I mean, like, it doesn't compute. These two main characters here have gone through so many of, I can't stand
Ups
who
and
I
downs, ebbs
am,
and
I don't want
flows.
to kill anymore, to I'm the Terminator, back to I can't stand who I am, I don't want to kill, back to Terminators. You talk about recycling and repeating, is their entire mentality is changed back and forth 15 times. And so for them to have a conversation about mentality of how you should handle a child, these are the two worst people to talk to a child about anything when it comes to what they've been doing in the past on this show.
I just keep waiting for her to be like, "Hey, you see those pretty flowers over there? Want to go look at the flowers?
Look at the flowers." So, like, this entire thing is just so confusing. And then every time I look at their body armor, I giggle.
Yeah.
I mean, I absolutely giggle. I mean, but I understand it is what it is. But again, so then we have the scene with, Daryl and them show up. And it turns silent. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually liked the silent part. It was better than him walking up and go, "Hey, Carl died."
Yeah,
I got bad news. Carl died.
Yeah, because
there's just no way to convey that, and you don't want to tell everybody. It was better to me, and I thought it was one of the best parts of the episode is that just to see his look, and you really don't even have to see what he's saying, and everybody knows what they're talking about.
Well, because you're looking for an Enid. Great job by her. Complete total breakdown.
Enid did an awesome, and everybody else was kind of like, oh. And then it cut screens to the next part, and nobody gives a shit anymore. Mm-mm. I mean, Maggie didn't even cry, wasn't broken up, wasn't anything. Carol didn't. Morgan, he was still on Terminator mode.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if Morgan knows.
He was still analyzing the crowd of who's dying next. I mean, like, only Enid was the one crying. I'm like, gosh dang, Carol, you helped raise that boy. Maggie, you were around. You helped save his life in the bedroom of your daddy's house.
Yeah,
these people should.
It's like, Maggie, you're
having an emotional outrage of some kind. Instead, it was hugs. Do you have any food?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I felt like. And to me, like, the silent part was so good, and Enid coming out like she did was awesome. And then I was like, wait a minute.
When Negan is the most emotionally broken up over Carl. That's not good.
Outside of
Rick and Michonne.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
I mean that's a real problem. I mean that's like Carol and them going over there, dropping trowel and taking a dump right next to that cross. I mean, that's what it felt like to me emotionally. It really did, man. I hated that. To have such a cool scene of Daryl, conveying this and people coming in with their heads down because what they're talking about. For everybody just kind of
pretty good opportunity too for Carol to have a scene of a
caring remorse, like they just tried to give her for the
I lost my child. Mm-hmm. Like understanding where somebody would come from. Maybe next episode, Rick and Carol will have a conversation because Rick just shows up. But I don't know. I mean, it's a good opportunity to focus on Carol a little bit and be like.
But I mean, why even go back to it now?
Yeah. It's another way to drag it out. We dragged it out.
Well, we got to have at least 5 more filler episodes for the finale.
Oh no!
All right, so let's go to Daryl and Company. This is Daryl, Rosita, Tara.
Daryl takes a bath.
Yeah,
part 1.
Yes. Well, no. Here's the deal. We can't trust him. We go through this entire deal of here he is. Let's kill him. No, not yet. And we keep moving on.
With him in ear distance the entire time.
He's literally in the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm right here, people. Hello,
Did you want me to turn around or anything? Earmuffs?
Earmuffs? You put my hands on my ears while you guys talk, I do like... Now, I thought Dwight did a really good job this episode. I did like his acting in this episode.
Dwight did fine.
I thought when he was talking, he was like, I want to help you guys. I just want to see Negan die, and I know what happens after that.
Yeah.
All that looked really, really good. I was really impressed. This was kind of the first time I really got Dwight and enjoyed Dwight in completeness.
I would agree with that.
And so, all that stuff, I really couldn't stand for Tara. Don't get me wrong. And I understand she's mad and this, that, or so on. But, again, such a huge, hey, viewer, slap. I'm going to hang behind with Dwight.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang behind.
Well, even when she threw the walker at Dwight, I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, God. And let's talk about how they go into the swamp. Okay, we'll bypass the decision of going into it. We get all that stuff. You don't care. So we're going to go into the swamp. When you're going to try to find a way through the swamp, do you spread out when you go through it?
No.
It's called, you take a single line, and if you clear that single line, everybody can follow that single line.
Yeah.
The idea of them spreading out and getting by themselves in different places.
That's how you get stuck. That's
absolutely asinine to me. Absolutely asinine to me.
But it's also asinine that these walkers
are staying underwater.
They stay underwater until they hear something, and then they come out and they can move why not just get out of the fucking swamp?
Yeah.
Why would you stay in the swamp? Walkers, you move around. You move like herds.
How do they even stay underwater? Because they would just float, I would think, or just disintegrate.
No, they're just bones. There's no air in their lungs. They're not buoyant. I don't know.
It goes back to the rule of cool is supposed to outweigh and wash the viewer's eyes of reality because we're not in reality.
But that's the thing. This is once again, they pulled it off gloriously. The walkers are fantastic coming up out of the muck and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, that looks really cool. Does it make any sense that they're there?